Radiation levels are severe. Seek safety immediately. Radiation levels normal. Life support is back online.
There was something very wrong at the second outpost they made.
An attack? The radiation?
Whatever it was, Site 2 made a special project to handle it. Let's keep it in mind for later.
Ryder.
Approaching Site 2. Resilience.
It was sold as the one we get right, but it didn't have time to get worn down. Got wiped out by Ket.
That datapad said Site 2 was working on a project. Keep an eye out for it.
He died protecting this outpost, and we left him.
We'll make it right, Liam.
Portable cover of Ket design.
Didn't bother to take it with him. Override works, but... Sam, the door was sealed from the outside?
Yes, Pathfinder. It appears lockdown was manual before the power restrictions.
Why do that? It wouldn't keep anything out.
It would keep something in.
Secondary terminals, no access.
If deployment is standard, main access will be deeper in.
Way too quiet.
Looks like they left in a hurry.
Reports said the evac was cut off by Ket.
Pathfinder, a maintenance bulletin was issued at the time of shutdown.
What does it say?
Run.
Override! Close it! Tempest, we have an unknown enemy. Evac the Pathfinder.
Whoa, hold on.
No go, Harper. We have to lay low. Ken are inbound to your location.
Ket and that thing? Son of a...
We've got Ket!
Ket
Another dropship with reinforcements. Watch out! That thing is out there.
And the Ket? Everything's grounded till they're gone. after Site 2 failed, Brazilian or not.
Radiation.
Looks like a war zone.
According to survivors, the kit attacked from all sides. It was a massacre.
You'd think there'd be more bodies. Not that I'm complaining.
Not a lot left behind for a massacre.
What if they were removed?
We know the Nexus didn't bother picking up the bodies.
You don't think it could have been the cat?
Sure as hell hope not.
Schematics for Special Project Sigma. They were building something, but there are parts missing. This must be the project they were salvaging at Site 1. A way to fight the cat.
We could finish it.
All components at Site 2 had security tags, compiling possible nav points.
Got a component for Site 2's project.
Not sure what's worse. This or dying slow like Promise.
Happy thoughts, Liam.
Surprised the Nexus still wants an outpost on Eos.
You know what they say. Third time's a charm. We'll make this right. Let's do this!
Radiation levels increasing. Radiation levels normal. Life support is stable. All Site 2 components are accounted for.
Let's head to Site 2's research station and see what good they do.
Look out for anything big and hungry.
Resilience is more than a name. It's our duty now.
A lot of smart people here once. We're their successors.
Radiation levels normal. Life support at 100%.
Nice. Let's get to a research station, see what we've got.
Parts for the Site 2 project? Check.
What the... Pathfinder, that body.
A scan might help us figure that out. Not shot, he was just pummeled to death. Well, we know what did this. They can't have nasty pets. West, Porter M. Get that, Lexi?
Yes, Pathfinder. Records updated.
Pathfinder, this area can be mined for resources. You can extract minerals via your mining interface.
Ascent is go.
Leaving Atmo. All clear.
Cora wanted to check in with you. Hello, Gil. When are you cleaning up that repair on the sensor console?
I'm not. It's a redesign.
A redesign? Without a trained crew?
I'm trained and it's working great. Don't be so uptight.
Everything okay?
No. Fine. Fine. Don't worry about it. What can I do for you?
If you helped to build the Tempest, you must know plenty about her.
Just about everything. By memory. It was quite the effort to get her working. The initiative needed absolutely up-to-date technology, which we all had to coordinate, and some of it was rather tricky to acquire.
Acquire?
Buy. Legally and above board, of course. Yes. Sadly, the other Pathfinder vessels were lost when the Scourge hit the Nexus. The Tempest is truly unique.
You know, I haven't actually met many Solarians.
Careful. Depending who you ask, we're conniving spies, genius researchers, or meddling scientists. We have to pack a lot of living into 40-odd years. Everything gets accelerated, lines blur. I just hope we don't repeat our old mistakes out here.
What do you think of the rest of the crew?
Well, I can't talk about Suvi. She's sitting right there.
I'm not listening. You can say whatever you like.
Oh no, I'm not falling for that again.
I couldn't help overhearing you and Gil. It sounded pretty heated.
He likes redesigning things, but the ship was built this way for a reason. I wish Gil would respect that. It's nothing to concern yourself about, really.
I'll let you concentrate.
You know where I'll be.
I saw pictures of the vault. Astounding how big it is. And how much of it didn't you see? What if it's way bigger? What's all that space for?
With what it has to do, it could go thousands of miles below the surface of the planet.
Or completely span it. An underground network. Just a thought, of course. I wouldn't even know where to start hypothesizing how it all works. The remnant builders, whoever, whatever they were, accomplished something far beyond us.
I take it you work closely with the Nexus Science team?
I try to keep in contact with them. We discuss anything and everything we discover out here. After all, many brains are better than one, and Dr. Aridana is worth 2 or 3 at least. I work best when I have other people to bounce ideas off of.
I'm still fuzzy about how we managed to see Andromeda all the way from home.
It confused me too. I mean, the light lag would have made any data 2 million years out of date. So I asked Dr. Aridana, and she told me, well, it wasn't her tech that did it. It was the Geths.
You're kidding. Those killer robots we had in the Milky Way?
Those exact ones. The initiative obtained data from an array in deep space, a Geth construct. According to Aridana, the Geth rebuilt a mass relay and turned the approach corridor into an FTL sensor.
A what now?
It operated like a telescope, just faster than light. It provided much more up-to-date info. We don't know why the Geth were interested in observing beyond the galaxy, though. Maybe we'll never know.
How did the Initiative even get its hands on Geth knowledge? They're isolationist and hostile.
I don't know, Ryder. Maybe I don't want to know.
What do you know about the Remnant's terraforming network?
From what I can tell, the vault is designed to adjust almost everything about a planet. Climate, pH of the soil, atmosphere composition. There's even evidence that it can propagate life. If we can figure out how to control the vaults, we could turn these worlds into perfect habitats.
When did you start believing in a god?
My parents were both scientists. My home was ruled by rationality. So when I became a teenager, let's just say that while other kids found Batarian music, I found God.
But your work as a scientist?
Convinced me even more, especially when I got into molecular biology, physics. The patterns I kept seeing over and over again, they were like an artist's watermarks. God, to me, is an artist. An inventor, not someone checking to see if I brush my teeth.
What do you know about the Scourge?
We established that it's artificial. Someone put it there. Or they did something that caused its creation. We don't know why. That's still a mystery.
I should get back to things.
Sounds good.
A secure outpost. Finally.
Prodroma's better be worth all that time Ryder put into...
So we have a stowaway.
You mean PB?
She's decided to set up in one of the escape pods. You don't need a psychologist to tell you that one's got commitment issues.
How do you think the crew is holding up?
I'm happy to share what I can without violating patient confidentiality. Anyone in particular? I sort them in their files, and my brain by species.
Why do you sort them that way?
Just easier for me to see patterns in behavior.
How do you think the human crew members are handling things?
There's a lot of them.
Gil?
Gil likes to use humor as a defensive technique. He'd rather bury himself in the Nomad than tackle emotions head-on.
Suvi okay?
Suvi's strong sense of faith keeps her grounded. I'm not spiritual, but there's a beauty in how her mind rationalizes religion and science.
How's Liam?
A handful. Every time I patch him up, he breaks something new. Liam's "we can't lose" attitude is commendable, but I worry how he'll react when something does go wrong.
How's Cora doing?
She's processing. Your father was her mentor. She expected to follow in his footsteps, but he gave the role of Pathfinder to you. Just because she trusts his judgment doesn't mean she's not confused. Or hurt.
I'd like to check in on the non-human crew.
Ask away.
Tell me about Vetra.
Vetra's used to having someone depend on her. I think that's why she's so resourceful and likes providing for other people. That being said, I think she could use a little me time.
How's our Solarian?
He's quite the gossip. Tight-lipped about himself, though.
Is Drac good?
That old bastard's always good. I've never met anyone who can be so stubborn and so appreciative. Could you look out for him, Ryder?
Don't worry, Lexi. I'll keep an eye on him.
Thank you. And maybe don't mention I asked?
Is PB all right?
She's avoiding me. Probably thinks I'll poke her with a needle if she gets too close.
To be fair, you're always giving me shots.
Not in the hallway.
Thanks for the insight. I need to talk to you about something private.
Of course. That's what I'm here for.
When Dad died, he blocked off parts of Sam's memory, things he didn't want me to see.
Or he thought you weren't ready for.
Maybe. I found this trigger. It unlocked a memory fragment of Dad on the Citadel, from when the Alliance rejected his ideas about AI, and he found out Mom's illness was terminal.
Why do you think your father chose this specific memory?
It was where his journey to Andromeda really began.
Those events started your family down a new path.
Yeah. Thanks, Lexi. Feels good to talk about this. How long have you and Harry been friends?
I remember when he didn't complain about arthritis. We met at a medical convention on the Citadel. He was moderating a panel on neurosurgery in low-gravity environments. His name card was crooked, but he was so damn confident, I knew we'd be friends.
How did you get into medicine?
My mum was a dancer on Omega. Dad was a bouncer. I'd patch him up after busy nights. Discovered I had steady hands. They put every credit they earned into my education.
Are they here in Helios?
No. Both died in a turf war. Made leaving the Milky Way behind easier.
So how did an Asari doctor end up on the human ark?
Specialist in alien anatomy, remember? That includes humans. Also, Harry insisted. Maybe he always intended to switch jobs.
I'll let you get back to it.
I'll be here if you need me.
strike team ready for deployment.
Ryder, you meet Spender yet? Colonial Affairs, the ass in Assistant Director. Got no idea why Addison keeps him around. Spender lied to the Krogan during the uprising, and he's headed out for cash ever since. He's up to something. I just can't prove it. We should pay him a visit on the Nexus.
What's it like to have Kesh as a granddaughter?
Kesh is my Rushan, child of my blood. Raised her myself. Damn proud of her too. She did good, even with me for a granddad.
She's honest. Definitely blunt.
She had to take after me in some ways, I guess.
Did Lexi brief you on Sam and squad connectivity yet?
Yeah. You want to hook that thing up to my comms, sure, but that's where it stops. Putting an AI in your head, giving it access to everything like that, it's begging for trouble.
Why do you say that?
I've seen what bots can do when they turn on their creators. Been in some of those fights. There's a reason that kind of research was outlawed.
Yeah. I was dismissed from the Alliance when news of what my dad was researching got out.
No shit. Ruined the Ryder name, I'll bet.
Almost. Sam is part of what makes someone a Pathfinder. You're just gonna have to deal with that.
So long as it's not in my head and it ain't messing with my body.
I'd like to know more about you.
Fire away.
How did you and Vetra meet?
Huh, that's right. Your father brought you into the project pretty late, didn't he? Must have been a pretty steep learning curve since they thawed you out.
You could say that.
You make do with what you get. Anyway, I met Vetra back when we were building the Nexus. She swiped supplies I was trying to get for Kesh right under my nose. I tried to intimidate her into turning them over to me, and let me tell you, that Turian takes shit from no one.
She really has a way of getting things done.
She sure does. But here's the best part. She waited until I saw her again in Kesh's office, no less, to tell me she'd been working for Kesh all along. They're both still laughing at me over that.
Tell me more about the Krogan colony.
My clan's there. We also got some scouts looking for any unclaimed territory to grab up. Got a decent setup going. Self-sustainable, the works. Even some farming.
Farming? Krogan farm?
Food's food. Just because we can eat anything doesn't mean we gotta settle for scraps. I'm pretty fond of Corcrow roots myself. Takes a while to chew through those.
So, about all this combat experience you have, I'd love some details.
Ha! The list will be shorter if you ask me what experience I don't have. I've been doing this for a long time now. Centuries. Shit, well over 1,000 years. Don't even know how I'm still alive, to be honest.
Skill?
You need luck to be a merc. Skill, sure, but a whole lot of luck. And a really hard head.
Got any stories or advice to share?
Does a piejack scratch its butt?
Anything about the Ket? Or combat in general?
Well, common cat are pretty straightforward. Hit them hard enough, they die like anything else.
Tell me more about fighting Ket.
Wraiths are sneaky little shits, like to ghost up behind you when you least expect it. Just listen for them. They tend to give themselves away right before coming at you. Break through their head plates, then a headshot should do the trick.
Why did the Krogan leave the Nexus?
The Nexus got us Krogan to stop the mutiny. In return, we were supposed to get a say in station business. Spender, Addison's assistant, lied about the deal, and Tan came down hard. Too hard. So we left. Kesh is alone on that station now.
You think someone might try to hurt Kesh?
More like she airlocks Spender. Or he tries to stab her in the back, and then she airlocks him. Tan wouldn't listen to me when I told him Spender had a part in the mutiny. I had no proof.
So what's my part in this?
Things need to get sorted out, and my clan needs to get back on station, without Spender messing things up. Way I see it, you're probably the best one for that job.
We can talk more later.
Sure.
Hey, one last thing.
Yeah?
Is everyone a kid to you?
Ha, when you get to be my age, yeah, pretty much.
Messing with that vault feels like early brain surgery. Just poking and hoping.
As long as it helps us to live here, I don't care how the vault's doing it.
Magnificently. That's how.
I prefer tech with more exposed bolts. If you can't open it, you don't own it. Long time no chat. What's up?
I hear we have you to thank for getting the Tempest space ready so quickly.
Vetra brings her impossible feats to me. I was itching to get this particular call, capital R, ready. Don't tell her, but the truth is, I fudge reports to come in early, then bust ass in secret to make up for it. Expands the guild legend. Plus, I convey calm and assurance, and the whole team relaxes, which helps them do their jobs better.
What's your social circle like?
I'm good for a laugh, so I know lots of people, but I don't let too many in. My one true friend is stationed on the Nexus. She's the only piece of the Milky Way I brought with me. The more you and I get to know each other, the more you'll probably hear about her.
How tough was it on the Nexus all those months?
Have you ever eaten overcooked space cow tongue?
Can't say I have.
Well, let me tell you, it's tough. Wondering if you're gonna die from a critical malfunction, or maybe starvation, imagining which would be worse. But hey, you could always take a break from the fear and boredom to dwell on being a part of the biggest failure in galactic history. Maybe even participate in a revolt.
What was your take on that?
I didn't place any bets, if that's what you're asking. Truth is, I don't think anyone made out particularly well. Whatever side you're on, you die a little when your brother, your teammate, becomes an enemy. We traveled all this way, all hope and wonder, and we end up fighting with each other over scraps. It's sad.
Seems like we have a good group here.
Well, Vetra and Suvi are my girls. Get along well, lots of mutual respect. PB's a real spark plug. I like her, but she's exhausting. And Drax's my kind of guy. Brash, takes no shit. As far as your Hyperion peeps go, the Doc's kinda nosy. Liam's good for a laugh or two. Cora, she's a bit by the book for me.
By the book keeps us alive.
Hey, variety's the spice of life, right? Different strokes makes for healthy debate.
What about Callow?
He's a pilot.
Which means...
he flies the ship.
We're leaving it at that then?
Does a Pathfinder know what to do with a dead end?
Good talking to you, Gil.
Anytime.
Hey, what's shaking?
I like it when you flirt. I wouldn't want you to stop.
Have I flirted with you? Don't worry, Ryder. I'm relentless. It relaxes me.
Thanks for chatting. We'll talk again later.
You know it.
Prodromos. Sounds good, doesn't it? We started Pathfinder. A new life. That is goddamn brilliant.
We barely covered how you joined. Tell me something about yourself.
Alright, I was a bad student, piss poor cop, great responder. Had a good life, but it'd all been done. I wasn't looking to start over. I wanted to start big.
You were a cop, then crisis response? Couldn't have been long in either.
Didn't have the patience for law, so I figured enforcement. Dad knew it didn't fit before I did. But it got me into hustle. They mostly take vets and retired service. Best years of my life.
You found your place. Not everyone gets that.
I knew it. Glad for it every day. And that led me here.
Tell me about your family.
I miss the hell out of them. Some nights you just cry, right? That's the thing everyone does. Mom Joelle, Dad Calvin, both lawyers. Met on the Citadel, settled on Earth. No brothers or sisters. That might have been too much to leave. It was traditional. How about you?
Traditional is a weird term for family. Like normal. Who's that describe?
I suppose you're right. I sure didn't keep to tradition. I said goodbye to my mom and dad, and got on a ship to Andromeda.
We'll talk later.
I know it.
Terraforming, Atmo processors, gravity wells, life-destroying murder bubbles. We really had no idea what Helios was about, did we?
Someone had to know. Maybe they just didn't tell us.
Did your father?
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying. I really hope you have a plan, Ryder.
The plan's the same. We find a home. Whatever that takes.
Keep that drive. Makes me believe we can make it. I mean, we have to make it. The alternative is not even worth thinking about.
You talked about your back channels. What did you mean?
We brought a lot from home. Some of it marked initiative, some of it in personal caches. Most things you want, someone's got. You just have to figure out who, and what they're willing to take in exchange.
It can't be that simple.
Oh, but it is. Most things are simple once you know the trick to them.
How did you hear of the Andromeda initiative?
Short answer, Kesh. She was looking for some experimental ship mods, and I knew how to track them down. I thought it was a one-time deal, but she came back. Once, twice. Eventually I figured out something was going on, something big with creds behind it. I asked and she told me about the initiative. New galaxy, new home. Couldn't pass that up.
You were on the Nexus when the revolt happened?
When you promise people golden worlds and all they get are wastelands and a death cloud, they riot. Some wanted to go home, some demanded answers, and a couple just wanted to stir shit up.
And you?
Some days I wondered if the exiles had a point. Maybe we were conned into coming here. But why would the initiative go to all this trouble just to screw us over? Thing about conning people, you always know something they don't, and that's why the con works. And if I'm going to pick a side, I'm picking the liars.
You probably have work to do. We can chat later.
You know where to find me.
Report from the Nexus. Population's growing as people wake up. Lots of hopefuls waiting for a home.
Bradley will have all the help he can take.
They'll be starting crops soon. Can't tell if they have enough water or too much. I grew up on a little cargo freighter. Only saw gardens in vids, but I always loved them. I daydreamed about planting a big rose garden when we got here and still imagine it sometimes. Roses in Helios.
So there's a heart soft as rose petals under that uniform.
I got plenty under here, pal. Does the big bad Pathfinder have a soft spot too?
I might. For certain someones.
Good to know. We've all got our something. I didn't for a while. After I left the Asari Commandos, well, I didn't leave. My mentor, Nasira, said I should go.
Why?
The initiative would suit you better, was all she said. Being a huntress suited me fine, but she insisted.
It sounds like she cared more about what you needed than about what you wanted.
I didn't need to be rejected. Still, that's familiar. When your biotics are honed into Huntress-grade weapons, people can be weird about it. The initiative seemed better. Just didn't see how I'd fit into their brave new galaxy. I never fit anywhere before. Then I met some jerk named Ryder. Talked about traveling to Andromeda like he was teaching you how to see it.
What part of that vision made you want to take the plunge?
A civilization where everyone had a place, even AI, or an overpowered human biotic. Your father said, I get being different. Now imagine being welcome and making others like you welcome too. When I was 13, I could warp a steel girder. He made me wonder, what if someone had told me that's okay?
He gave you a dream to work toward. He was good at that.
Who doesn't want to belong? Especially somewhere like the Initiative. So I gave the Initiative my all. Kept thinking of the niche I wanted. My rose garden. I thought I knew what I was going to be.
This is about not taking over as Pathfinder?
Didn't think it would still sting. Nasira, your father, even my parents. They leave, I'm left without answers. Nowhere to stand.
I get that. We've all had a lot of disappointments lately.
You're doing well. For having no training, being your second isn't so bad. And if that remnant tech pays off, maybe someday I'll have roses too.
Imagine flying through one. Now that would be a real hazard course.
Watch your tone. You saw what happened to Krogan.
Over a unified curriculum for initiative kids.
Well, you're not getting it. Stop making frivolous requests. Your incompetence isn't my problem. Just do your job.
What do you want?
Sounds like you're having a rough day.
You saw that, huh? Oh, I'm sorry I snapped at you. The way Spender treats me? Everyone, I'm so angry. I don't understand how he's in any position of authority.
He was pretty abusive towards you. Is that normal?
Yes, he's horrible. Working with him is a total nightmare. Just last week, he tried to redirect some of the supplies we need to keep the stasis pods going.
Why?
I have no idea. But if Kesh hadn't stepped in and threatened to airlock him, it would have been a disaster. He's always like that. Making bad decisions, driving the Krogan away, treating people like scum when no one's watching.
Maybe there's something I can do?
A man like that's bound to have some dirt. I wish Tan and Addison could see it. Things have gotten so bad that Kesh had to literally kick him out of engineering.
How literal are we talking here?
Boot to ass. Oh, it was glorious. We need him gone, but as incompetent as Spender is at his job, he's insanely good at keeping it. Kesh can tell you more.
We ask that you refrain from picking foliage in the Nexus Commons area. The consumption or sale of any plant specimens is strictly prohibited by hydroponic regulations.
What? That's ridiculous. Why would he say that? Maybe he filed a complaint with Tan.
People are doing what? Hydroponics?
I don't know. Tan's pretty busy. I'd have left it alone.
Convicted murderer Nilken Rensis, pardoned after an investigation by the human Pathfinder proved his innocence. This is Agent S. Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating.
I'm sorry, Lana. They're just trying to move them around.
Maintenance crews, please report to the Commons area. Authorities continue work to establish contact with our Milky Way descendants. As of now, Regan's confirmed arrival is... A reminder to all personnel...
You sure look thoughtful.
Just thinking about the first time Cash got her hands on a toolkit.
Care to share? I have a feeling this one will be interesting.
You don't have to ask me twice. Let's see, the first time, yeah, it was our power generator. She took it apart with the blunt side.
Wouldn't that cause shorts or something?
She liked the fireworks. You can imagine what it was like when she figured out that cracking open bigger things made even bigger sparks.
Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
Dell told me you saw her arguing with Spender. Pyjack's doing his best to throttle my department.
How's he getting away with that?
Spender doesn't know the first thing about engineering, but he knows how to play people. More importantly, he still talks to the exiles. I'm sure of it. I just can't prove it without your help.
This needs to be investigated.
I'm glad someone thinks so. Talk to Kandros. He likely has security footage, some kind of evidence. But you'll have to convince him to authorize release.
Nothing more for now.
Later.
Kesh, Spender is at it again.
Did you tell him I was coming down to check on you?
He still won't leave me alone. He's pretending to inspect my work.
As sleepers wake from stasis, the initiative urgently requires... Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Another brawl on the docks? Probably.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I was told I should talk to you about the mutiny.
I wasn't on the Nexus when it happened. I started reading up on it, but you know how things get around here.
Do you know where Spender was during that time?
Why Spender? Wait, you think he might have had something to do with the mutiny?
Maybe. Just trying to sort things out.
You know, the logs I did look through showed a few discrepancies. I meant to dig deeper. If you're investigating, how about I give you access to the security vid archives?
Thank you.
Anything else?
Bye, Kandros. Duty calls.
You and me both, Pathfinder.
Apex personnel, please check your duty roster for important updates.
Huh, this file won't play. Sam, can you boost the quality?
Processing. Playback initiated.
Wait, is he handing something over to one of the mutineers?
Take this. It'll help you the armory. Don't.
I am sorry, Pathfinder. This backup file is corrupted. The audio tracks are heavily degraded. Someone may have deleted the original, and this version was restored during a system-wide reset.
Can we prove this? Or is it just a theory?
A theory. While I cannot restore any more audio, the location appears to be Kadara.
How do you figure?
In common parlance, lip reading. I do not recognize the location from any current data. It appears mountainous and populated. We will need to find the planet before I can confirm. I will contact you via my node.
Let's go confront him.
Superintendent Kesh reminds everyone all power grid adjustments must be approved beforehand. Attention, civil disobedience has
The
been
mutiny
reported in
rider, is it?
security.
William Spender. Apologies if we met before. I meet a lot of people running colonial affairs.
Running colonial affairs? I thought you were the assistant director.
That's right. Assistant to Addison. So we know who does all the real work.
From what I've heard, your hands are pretty dirty. I saw the footage. You were handing something off?
What footage? From Gavorkum? Routine business meeting. Whoever you're talking to clearly has an axe to grind. And frankly, a Pathfinder shouldn't be wasting time on a witch hunt. You'd be wise to let this be.
Colonial affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status.
Attention, civil disobedience has been reported in hydroponics. Security is investigating. Colonial...
Top scientists have...
Free our families. Tell our leaders. Wake the sleepers.
Look, Jonesy.
Free our families.
This isn't my son, Dr. Ryder.
Tell our leaders. Wake the sleepers. Free our families.
Hey, what's going on?
That's your new galaxy. Making speeches about some fresh start while your kids stay frozen.
And it's all thanks to your Pathfinder.
Excuse me?
We've waited months for our families to come out of stasis. They should have gone to your outpost.
But since you think research is so important, military personnel got bumped down the list, like my clan brothers.
All the reassignments mean they're in 10 different colony blocks now.
And my mother just got caught in the middle.
We only had resources for one outpost, so I focused on the skills we needed most.
And what we need is our families back.
Maybe you could still make this right. I just want Mom out of stasis. That's all anyone here wants.
You do stasis revivals. You can tell our leaders you're opening those pods. Today.
I authorize whole colony blocks or a few emergency revivals. I can't wake dozens of random people.
We don't care whose finger pushes the button. If you can't, our leaders can. And if you tell them, they will.
Okay. I'll talk to the leadership about what we can do.
14 months of promises. It's time for some results.
We tried petitioning Addison. She ignored us. Screw her.
Start with Kandros. He sent those 10 soldiers over there. Maybe he'll take us seriously. Our Nexus, our lives!
Free our families!
Make them hear, make them know, make them lead, or make them go! Our Nexus, our lives!
Any word?
No, no new orders.
History is made after the initiative established...
Still missing some parts. Damn it.
A worker was lost to space during repairs on the Nexus Hull. The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. This is HNS.
Colonial Affairs, please advise Director Tan of your status.
Firearm proficiency is up.
No news on the Turian Ark yet? Or is this militia business?
I need to talk to you about stasis revival and those protesters in hydroponics.
I see. Maybe I should get the others for this.
Protesters have seized hydroponics?
They want their families out of stasis. The outpost on Eos disrupted the schedule. They're scattered across colony blocks, dozens of people. The protesters want this fixed today.
The realities of our position are...
We can't wake those families. We don't have the resources, and there's nowhere to put them.
We only just got on our feet. Plus, it messes up the schedule again. What do you suggest?
Leave the families in stasis where it's safe and get those protesters out of hydroponics. They seem sympathetic, but so did the exiles. We can't risk another revolt. Survival is more important than family reunions.
Do you think these protests could turn violent?
We're all pioneers. Even civilians are tough enough to start something.
And interfering in hydroponics threatens our oxygen supply. They know that.
What would you do with the protesters?
I'd send in a squad and march them out. At gunpoint if we must. If they resist, a few might land in medbay, but it's better than losing hydroponics. Or the Nexus.
We have to look at the bigger picture. Get them out of there.
Kandros?
I'll send in a team, but it might go smoother if Ryder's there.
A good idea. Sometimes we have to give bad news. That's a Pathfinder's duty, too.
Any logistics updates are due within the hour. Hydroponics reports oxygen production is nominal.
A worker was lost to space during repairs on the Nexus Hull. The victim's name has been withheld until next of kin in the Milky Way is notified. This is HNS.
Just stand down, ma'am.
Or you'll shoot me. Good luck explaining that to my grandchildren.
What happened? She was about to disconnect the water hoses, threaten all the plants.
They're saying the leaders won't wake our families. Well, this is how far we're willing to go. Their move.
I know this is hard, but for the good of the Nexus, we need you to be patient.
We've already waited. How old will I be by the time Mom's out of stasis?
Take it easy, kid. The Pathfinder's got a point.
I'll go off station if I have to. I'll find anyone who'll actually do something.
You want your mom to wake up and find you exiled? Or dead?
Reese, don't. Anything's better than that. Even the longest wait of our lives.
When our families hear about this...
They'll probably agree with the Pathfinder. You're done here. Come on.
That's your flag, everyone. That's Prodromos.
Hey, I was wondering if you could help me out. It's for the good of the bar.
Lay it on me.
So, folks try and help and all, but we have a limited pool of ingredients. Keep an eye out for anything interesting we could use for new drinks, and we'll let you test them for free.
Right. I get a feeling the testing will be interesting.
Don't worry, Dutch may complain a lot, but he's loving it. And he's the best chemist I know. You're in good hands.
Another one! Damn it! This is supposed to be the chemistry lab. My chemistry lab. You all keep crawling out of the woodwork like space cockroaches.
You say that, Dutch, but here you are, pouring people drinks.
Hi. I'm standing right here.
They're guinea pigs, damn it. Chemists should have guinea pigs. Not have their labs taken over by people giving them things and being nice.
Aren't bartenders usually friendly? You're kinda hostile.
I'm not supposed to be a bartender. I'm supposed to be a chemist.
Don't let Dutch put you off. He's a sweetie, really.
I'm not.
And the drinks are good.
Damn right they are. I mean... yeah. I'm a dirty squirrel.
Sure glad I went to school for this. Thanks for nothing, education.
The offer to put me on the transfer list for an outpost, but I said no. What? Why? That's why you came here in the first place.
Residents are still mourning the loss of...
It's not the best quality, but we don't have many options here. I thought merchants were supposed to make you want to buy their stuff. They'd rather be
Residents are still mourning the loss of Team Guardian.
I don't care what you say, we have to. Or the station falls apart.
And no one can afford it. I heard Captain might try for strawberries.
Pathfinder?
The human Pathfinder has died. Alec Ryder was killed after touching down on habitat.
Hello?